Howdy, hello, greetings, good day, grand rising for all of you grand risers. Hello to Instagram. Hello to YouTube. Hello to Facebook. Hello to TikTok. I'm Dr. Flo. I am an ordinary human, just like all of you, who's choosing to do extraordinary things with my life. Things like coming into coalition and community with folks like Poppy Water 33 and Tara Praolo Studio and awesome Angie 78 and beyond for magic. Why? Because we love ourselves, and coming together every day to love ourselves is a worthwhile cause. We're being called into so many different causes on the planet, but loving ourselves and being loved in community is a really worthwhile cause. So I want to thank you all for coming to Daily Boost. We offer this every day. We've been going strong for 53 weeks, and we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop encouraging, equipping, and empowering people to use their time, talent, and treasure to make their wildest dream come true, but also to empower the dreams of others. It's important. Anyway, let's open today with I love myself affirmation. Deep at the center of my being, there's an infinite well of love. I now allow this love to flow to the surface. It fills my heart, my body, my mind, my consciousness, my very being, and radiates out from me in all directions and returns to me multiplied. The more love I use and give, the more I have to give. The supply is endless. The use of love makes me feel good. It's an expression of my inner joy. I love myself, therefore, I take loving care of my body. I lovingly feed it nourishing foods and beverages. I lovingly groom it and dress it, and my body lovingly responds to me with vibrant health and energy. I love myself, therefore, I provide for myself a comfortable home, one that fills all my needs and is a pleasure to be in. I fill the rooms with the vibration of love so that all who enter, myself included, will feel this love and be nourished by it. Thank you for the love over on TikTok, Tara. I love myself, therefore, I work at a job I truly enjoy doing that uses my creative talents and abilities working with and for people I love and who love me and earning a good income. I love myself, therefore, I behave and think in a loving way to all people, for I know that that which I give out returns to me multiplied. I only attract loving people in my world, for they are a mirror of who I am. Or as I was listening to Eckhart Tolle speak this morning, for they are a mirror of who I be. Because I'm a human being, okay? Not a human doing, not a human amming, with all of my accolades and accomplishments and things. Uh, I only attract loving people in my world, for they are a mirror of who I be. I love myself, therefore I forgive and totally release the past and all past experiences, and I am free. I love myself, therefore I totally live in the now, experiencing each moment as good and knowing that my future is bright and joyous and secure, for I am a beloved child of the universe, and the universe lovingly takes care of me now and forevermore. And so it is. Ah, yes. I've asked myself, like, why do we show up just for one another? Why do we just show up for one? Why do we just show up for the small yet mighty community that we have? Because of all of the things to gather around, positive vibrations are where it's at, folks. We have so many energies we can conjure and so many energies that we can hold. Why not hold something hopeful? And what we found working here, and we've been working here for the last few years, is that of all of the things that people want to hold space for, sometimes peace and joy and hope and hopefulness are hard for people to contain, to hang around for. But we're hanging around for it. And thank you to TikTok for being here. So here is a spell for grief or letting go, and then we'll move into the 52 weeks of conscious contact with Melody Beattie. This is from page 108 of Emergent Strategy, which is one of our foundational texts here in our network. And we meet every day online in the morning for my coffee and affirmations. And also, Tara and I switch hit throughout the week for Daily Boost. We are now in our 53rd week of encouraging people daily. Thanks for being here. Here is a spell for grief or letting go. Adequate tears twisting up directly from the heart and wrung out across the vocal cords only until a gasp remains. At least an hour a day spent staring at the truth in numb silence. A teacup of whiskey held with both hands, held under the whispers of permission from friends who can see right through, quote, okay, quote, fine. An absence of theory. Flight as necessary. Poetry, your own and others, on precipice, abandonment, nature, and death. Courage to say what has happened, however strangling the words are, and space to not say a word. A brief dance with sugar to honor the legacies of coping that got you this far. Sentences spoken with total pragmatism that provide clear guidance of some direction to move in, full of tender care and balance of choice and not having to choose. Screaming why and or expressing fury, screaming why and or expressing fury at the stupid, unfair fucking game of it all. This may include hours and hours, even lifetimes of lost faith. We'll come back to talk about lost faith today. Lost faith in Sky Daddy, lost faith in ourselves, lost faith in our collaborators, lost faith in systems, lost faith in institution, screaming why and or expressing fury at the stupid, unfair fucking game of it all. This may include hours and hours, even lifetimes of lost faith. It ain't always smiley over here in Love and Action Network, and that's why we sometimes sit at a very small lunch table. But the truth will set you free. And I would rather be free with one or two other people than trying to be asleep with a bunch of people who are just pretending. Like um, you got to see life as it is unfolding, even if there is some lost faith. I'll continue. Another spell for grief or letting go. Laughter, undeniable and unpretended. A walk in the world, all that gravity with breath and heartbeat in your ears. Fire for all that can be written. Moonlight, the more full, the more nourishing. Stories, ideally of coincidence and heartache and the sweetest tiny moments. Time, more time, and then more time. Enough time to remember every moment you had with that one now taken from you and to forget to think of it every moment. And just a glimpse of tomorrow, either in the face of an innocent or the realization of a dream. This is a non-linear spell. Cast it inside your heart, cast it between yourself and any devil, cast it into the parts of you still living. Remember, you are water. Of course, you leave salt trails. Of course, you are crying. Flow, period. It says flow, period. P.S. If there happens to be a multitude of griefs upon you, individual and collective, or fast and slow, or small and large, add equal parts of these considerations. That the broken heart can cover more territory. Then perhaps love can only be as large as grief demands. That grief is the growing up of the heart that bursts boundaries like an old skin or a finished line. I'll read that one more time for my consonants. That grief is a growing up of the heart that bursts boundaries of an old skin or a finished line or finished life. That grief is gratitude. That water seeks scale. That even your tears seek the recognition of community. That the heart is a front line and the fight is to feel in the world of distraction. That death might be the only freedom. That your grief is a worthwhile use of your time. That your body will feel only as much as it is able to. That the ones you grieve may be grieving you. That the sacred comes from the limitations. That you are excellent at loving. Consider these things. P.S. If there happens to be a multitude of griefs upon you, individual and collective, or fast and slow, or small and large, add equal parts of these considerations. That you are excellent at loving. That your body will feel only as much as it is able to. That death might be the only freedom. Trigger warning. And I'm no longer a threat to myself. Um, Shout out to the 800,000 who are just trying to get through. But there are so many texts and opportunities available for us to heal. And hopefully, something that was read there brought life. That is page one. uh, Page 108 and 109 in Emergent Strategy. Shout out to AMB. We love you, sister. Thank you for grounding us here. All right, moving on to another awesome author today. Um, we are on day 3 of week 47, y'all. Only about 5 weeks or so left in the year for those of you who are counting down to the great event that is uh, being human. Project Human 2025. Project Joy 2025. Project Belonging. Great things. But we're in week 47. The theme is commitment. It's day 3. Let's go. The author writes, have you ever made a commitment and immediately have you ever made a commitment and immediately realized you made a mistake? It was more than just cold feet. You had promised to do something you knew you couldn't do. One of the challenges with commitments is human error. We change our mind. It could be that we didn't think things through, or maybe one commitment we made interfered with another important pledge. For instance, if we're married to someone who's on a destructive path, our commitment to that person might interfere with the commitment we've made to our children and to ourselves. The idea of committing is often easier than fulfilling the commitment itself. Many of the things we commit to, such as raising children, require hard work. Welcome to the space. So, the challenge of this day here in our network is the hard thing about commitments isn't making them, it's following through. Commitments require consideration: which ones to make, which ones to break, which ones to complete. It's serious business, this commitment thing. And actually, this year is the first week that this particular text hasn't made me feel awful. Thank you for sharing the room, Tara. For those of you watching over on our video platforms and channels, Tara sharing over on TikTok, and especially for those of you listening to Spotify who don't even know what's going on in the room. This has been one of the hardest weeks in the past for me to grab hold of for years. I'm gonna read the challenge one more time. It feels a bit less challenging this year, in fact. The hard thing about commitments isn't making them, it's following through. Commitments require consideration: which ones to make, which ones to break, which ones to complete. It's serious business, this commitment thing. I would encourage everyone, myself included, to call to mind the commitments of your heart and the things that you are presently berating yourself up perhaps about. And consider making a mental list or even a physical list of which commitments are the ones that need to be made right now, which commitments that you've made that you just don't want to fulfill anymore. And maybe it's time to have some really, really difficult conversations with those who you love or those that you made the commitments to. But like, yo, I thought I could go this far with you or with the journey with the project, but I got to break this commitment. Makes me feel awful, but I got to go. Important to have those adult conversations. And then, are there some commitments in your life that you are willing to complete? I'm asking myself right now as it relates to my business and my work. It's 1:28 in the afternoon. What am I committed to completing today so I can feel the relief? That's another thing that's been coming up for me personally in my meditation times and reflection. We don't appreciate ourselves enough. We do not have a culture of appreciation. We are not conditioned to appreciate other people, and people are not conditioned to appreciate us. In fact, if you step out into the other spaces of life, which I frequent into, but I don't live there, you'll see tons of people, millions of people, complaining about the lack of appreciation they have in their lives. You will see it. Nobody cares about me. No one appreciates me. Yada yada yada. Habba babba habba babba. This morning, I put on all of my statuses on Instagram and on Facebook Messenger. That's the good news. The good news is that nobody cares. So there's not a microscopic camera on you or on me for that matter, even though I've got three cameras trained on me right now. There's nothing, no one cares so much that, that I can't get on with doing and completing the commitments that are going to make me happy. There's nothing standing in our way. We can and we will. Thank you, Melody. Moving forward into the 7-day pillar challenge, we are so grateful to the House of Mommy Water and our healing practitioners for going along with the flow. It is the chakra system, which is an energetic alignment system of the body. It's ancient, predates the Bible even. A spiritual system that allows you to reflect on certain parts of living. And today we come out of the root chakra on Sunday into Mondays of the sacral chakra. And then on Tuesday, we rise even further every week into our solar plexus chakra. And just reflecting on these things and having these conversations with ourselves and with each other has radically changed our approach to our businesses, our families, our lives, our friends. Like, there's not an area that this type of reflection for the last year has not touched. I'm changed. I'm certainly changed. And some would say for the better. So, reflecting on the solar plexus chakra, also known as the Manipura chakra, we're going to explore aspects of our personal power, our self esteem, and our inner strength today. And let's start with self worth and confidence. How do I feel about myself and my abilities? What are my biggest accomplishments and how do they make me feel? I was just talking about that. Like, we do not booty clap for ourselves enough. We do not say, yo, I'm doing great at taking my meds. I'm doing great at carrying water around the house and actually drinking it. I'm doing great at showering. I'm doing great at staying connected to the community. I'm doing great at navigating difficult patches of human relationships. I'm doing great at forgiving. I'm doing great at chilling out. I mean, if you're like me, I have decades of experience of being high strung. And there are different modalities and tools I use these days to get towards my chill, but I'm grateful. I've done some amazing things with my life, but maybe one of the biggest accomplishments of my whole life is the fact that I found peace inside for me. It took a couple doctor's trips and a couple special visits from a street pharmaceutical people and a couple, tough love conversations with Tara and Poppy and other healers adjacent. But the biggest accomplishment of my life so far, beyond all the things that's on my resume, and I've got a pretty decent and awesome resume. I feel great about myself and my abilities answering the last question. My biggest accomplishment to date is actually having a calm ripple inside of my chest right now while talking to you all. And it was a cumulative effort of caring about myself. Shout out to the Finch app once again. We do not endorse them, and they do not endorse any religion. We learned today. Um, but I'm like up to like day 83 or something of paying attention to the rhythm of my life. Not the rhythm of Tara's life, not the rhythm of Poppy's life, not the rhythm of Nadia's life, not the rhythm of anybody else. Not no commingling of help and care, because for a while there was a lot of like care going out into the community, but not a lot of care coming back in. But not because anybody's a bad person or a good person. We're getting beyond those things. It's just that's how life works. Whoa. What if I download this app on my phone for free that helps me get serious about taking care of me? Because I have to take care of me in order to take care of you. And you have to take care of you in order to take care of me. Um, so going back to the page, what is my biggest accomplishment and how they make me feel? My biggest accomplishment right now is caring for my inner, caring for my peaceful state, caring enough to deal with my fear and paranoia, bitterness and anger, stopping the act of bothering myself. Got to share this teaching from Michael Singer to those who can hear it. We got to stop bothering ourselves. Take an inventory of how you are bothering yourself and knock that shit off. The only reason why the external world is bothering you at all is because you are number one in line to hand them the tools needed to pick you apart. Unnecessary today. You can be happy, healthy, and free. In what areas of my life do I lack confidence? Hmm. I'm turning a corner. I was talking to Tara this morning in private session or public session. I can't remember. I think it's private session about the fact that I had talked myself into a lack of confidence because working from home and being an entrepreneur and working for yourself and not having direct access to transportation all the time in a reliable way and not having your own car and things, it can put you in a space where you feel cut off and isolated. So I begin to, because confidence is kind of like a muscle that has to be built and maintained. Like, people think that you just get confidence for once in your life and then you have it forever. If that were true, um, where would we be if confidence was this like thing that you got and never lost? I found in my life personally, in my personal experience, that I've gained confidence, but the confidence that I have at this level is not enough to take me to the next level. So I have to constantly re up and rebuild and recultivate the confidence. Anyway, if this was a video game of life, and I believe that life is one big video game, I began to see my confidence meter on the video game go down. It was because I thought that I could no longer connect well with strangers because the industry has been so saturated, and because all of us are live streaming to one person, I was not getting daily feedback to my face that the words and things I say have power and are meaningful and impactful in the world. And so my confidence meter went down until I recently joined Blue Sky and began talking to and having friendly interactions with strangers. Before the election, I was getting out into the street and connecting with people, and people were responding to me. And even my partner Poppy was like, "People do respond to you favorably." Even Tara was like, "People uh, are happy to see you." But I began to lack confidence because I wasn't putting myself out there. And so while I don't lack confidence anymore about my abilities, I was lacking confidence about connecting with people. And it's kind of a horrible situation to be in where you need to connect with people for your business and for your mission, but you lack confidence about that part. For in real terms, I don't lack confidence about my ability to perform when I get somewhere, but I lack confidence about connecting with the people to place me there or to help me get there. So you can see how this would be a big problem for me in real time if I have confidence to do the job, but not confidence to get the job or to connect to the job. And a lot of people, you'd be surprised. I'm not a unicorn. You'd be surprised how many people have confidence to do what they say they want. They just don't have confidence enough to ask for it. They have confidence enough to execute, but they don't have confidence in the bridge. So in what areas of my life do I lack confidence? It's the bridge, which is human heart to human heart always. Never human to robot or AI to human or human to AI or AI to AI. We're still humans, right? Human beings, not human doing. So we have to bridge to people. So in what areas do I lack confidence? I was up until now lacking confidence about my ability to bridge into the hearts of people. But we're not going to do that anymore. It doesn't serve us to feel like we can't connect with others. How does the idea I cannot connect with others or nobody gets me or I don't belong, how does that get you any further and closer to your future and your destiny? Flow. Last question. How do I handle criticism and failure? How do I handle criticism and failure? Well, number one, folks, uh, criticism and opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Everybody has a criticism and a failure. Okay. Everybody has a criticism. Everybody has an opinion. Opinions are like assholes. So y'all know how I feel about this. Like, just every time someone gives me a critique, I'll take it under consideration, but I don't have to change anything at all because if you're not my person or a person that's supposed to be in my life, then you're not supposed to be there. You know what I mean? You're just not supposed to be there. And like we always talk about the subway trains in New York City, if I'm not your boat, then another's coming. If I'm not your train, another's coming. All right. Where I want to land today, because we've been here for about 30 minutes, which is a long form version of this for us. They do range from like 8 minutes to like 3 hours. I wanted to talk about uh, Emotions Anonymous and a pivot that we are taking, or that I'm taking in as it relates to my shares on live streams. While I make a mean cup of coffee in the morning, and while I love to goof off online, I'm not called in my heart towards goofiness on the internet or making strangers on TikTok like me and love me. I'm not really concerned about gaining praise and recognition from humans because they'll turn on you as quickly as they love you. I'm concerned with myself and others like me getting free from having turbulent emotional states that cause us inner harm and then causes us to do harmful things in the world. And so we will be returning to the 12 steps of Emotions Anonymous. This is not actually, when I walked through this the first time and started sharing this with the community over a year ago, I was really needing this text to keep from blowing up the house. It's interesting now to be called back to it, to lead it as opposed to needing to cling to it. But stay tuned, folks, because life comes at you fast. I may need to cling soon. But I wanted to talk about the EA wing of Love and Action Network because I think it's one of the most powerful parts of what we do here and what's actually being dealt with and healed, both in leadership and in those who frequent. Emotions Anonymous is a 12-step program. It was formed by a group of individuals who found a new way of life by working the 12-step program of Alcoholics Anonymous as adapted for people with emotional problems. We invite you to discover, as we have, that our Emotions Anonymous fellowship of weekly meetings is warm, freakly. Where's my brain right now? I promise you, this is not after dark, folks. I don't know where that came from. Freakly. We invite you to discover, as we have, that our EA fellowship is it's the weekly meetings that my brain got stuck on. It's warm, friendly, freakly, maybe, and important for achieving and maintaining emotional health. The 12 steps and the 12 traditions are guides for our meetings and for living one day at a time because ours is a 24-hour program. And y'all going to see me start to open more rooms daily, where we can actually work the steps of EA. I see it of need in these very political times. It's going to be of need as people start to see services and things kind of go crazy. As we step into the future, this is going to be needed to be a pillar. I find in our network that the emergent strategy always hits, and so does EA. And so we're going to just start being serious about it. Once again, the 12 steps and the 12 traditions are guides for our meetings and for living one day at a time because ours is a program of 24 hours. Emotions Anonymous is a nonprofit organization supported by the voluntary contributions of its members. We thank Alcoholics Anonymous for their permission to use the program, and we thank the God of our understanding, or the higher power of our understanding, for guidance. All right, here are the 12 steps, and then I'll be out of here today. The 12 steps. Number one, we admitted that we are powerless over our emotions, that our lives have become unmanageable. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. We made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of higher power as we understood it. We made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. We admitted to higher power, to ourselves, and another human being, the exact nature of our wrongs, like our emotions against ourselves. We told people about it. We're entirely ready to have higher power remove all of these defects of character. We humbly asked higher power to remove our shortcomings. We made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. We made direct amends to such people whenever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. We continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. We sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with the divine as we understood it, praying only for the knowledge of love's will for us and the power to carry that out. I change a lot of language of this program. They may kick me out. But there'd be just one more thing to get kicked out, y'all. I'm gonna read number 11 again without all of the heavy patriarchal kind of sky daddy language. We sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with a higher power as we understood it, praying only for the knowledge of love's will for us and the power to carry that out. And then as 12, we're having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. We try to carry this message and to practice these principles in all of our affairs for emotional freedom. Um, so yeah, just stay close because I'm going to be weaving this in to everything that I do going forward as an anchor, as another anchor. I encourage all of you all to go over to lovedandlovable.bio.link for the opportunity to RSVP to our events, to check out our current programs. Our current programs right now are Pleasure Activism Book Club, Unfuckwithable with Flow, my mastermind, paid mastermind program, and also vocal performance and coaching and mentorship. And stay tuned because Dr. Flow and the Love Experience, my Concerts of Hope tour series, is not going away for the next 25 years. And so just hang close to social, keep watching. If you see the red, white, and black, you know that we're there. And we're also here for you. There's opportunity on the website to check out all of our communications channels. You can go to our store to purchase or donate. This newsletter and podcast offering is also available for you to see hundreds of episodes, legacy episodes of our work here. Also, to audition and to apply to come in closer to us. We are audition and application based here because we love ourselves. So you're more than welcome to do that under one of our Explore pages. Also, you can meet more team members, explore our resource pages, donate, go to our support desk, and also live chat us if you are in an audition or application process. I'm grateful to all of you for tuning in today and being awesome. I can't wait to see you all around very soon. On behalf of all of our healing practitioners in the network, myself, Tara Pratt, Olo Studio, Poppy Water 33, and beyond, stay in your joy, stay in your power, stay loved and lovable, and have a